love of God, love of neighbor, love of country. When one goes out, all go out.
See, if you're pro-life, you're pro-America. If you're pro-death, you're anti-country and you're unbelievably unpatriotic.
The right to worship as we choose, these are God-given freedoms, not the contrivances of man.
Habemus Papam.
Born into a culture that rejected sin, suffering, and the cross, Flannery O'Connor spent her life writing stories opposing modernity and lived as a devout Catholic who did not take salvation for granted. On March 25, 1925, Mary Flannery O'Connor was born in Savannah, Georgia, to Irish Catholic immigrants. She attended Catholic school until her father, Edward Francis O'Connor Jr., developed disseminated lupus, an untreatable disease, and died. Prior to his death, the O'Connor family had left Savannah for Milledgeville, where Flannery illustrated cartoons for the Peabody High School newspaper, her first published works. Flannery attended Georgia College, working as an art editor and cartoonist, but then left the South to study at the University of Iowa's School for Writers. This began her lifelong calling to write short stories, but to also attend daily Mass. On a train ride back south to Milledgeville in 1950, Flannery endured a nearly fatal attack of disseminated lupus, the disease from which her father died. This required Flannery to live with her mother, Regina, at the family dairy farm in Georgia. But despite her extensive solitude, Flannery did not linger in self-pity. Rather, she kept to a thorough daily routine, which reflected that she was first a Catholic and then a writer. She would first wake up at 6 a.m. to say her prayers from the short breviary, then attend Mass at 7 with her mother. She wrote without interruption from 9 to noon. She filled her afternoon reading, writing letters, hosting guests, and tending to her 40 peacocks, and read St. Thomas Aquinas' writings for 20 minutes before going to sleep at 9. Although not a typical Catholic novelist, O'Connor saw the world from the standpoint of Christian orthodoxy, saying that the meaning of life is centered in our redemption by Christ. O'Connor explained that her stories are hard because nothing is harder or less sentimental than Christian realism. Her message to all Christians was that our day of judgment is coming and that we must reject our own vices and accept God's divine grace. O'Connor's most well-known objection to the modern world's treatment of Christ was at a dinner party she attended with renowned academics in New York, when one of these intellectuals proclaimed that the Eucharist was a symbol. O'Connor retorted, "If it's a symbol, to hell with it." She later reflected that at the time, that was all the defense she was capable of. But later in her story, The Temple of the Holy Ghost, she wrote, "I believe the host is actually the body and blood of Christ. It is the center of existence for me. All the rest of life is expendable." By the age of 39, Flannery O'Connor wrote 32 short stories. Her posthumously published work, Complete Stories, won the U.S. National Book Award for Fiction in 1972. She also wrote 2 novels, Wise Blood and The Violent Bear It Away. Before her death on August 3, 1964, O'Connor sent a letter to a friend that included a prayer to Saint Raphael that she would pray daily. In her physical weakness, Flannery laid her loneliness and earthly sorrow at the feet of Christ and his cross. On our own paths to Bethlehem, let us imitate Flannery O'Connor in accepting our crosses without complaint and preparing our souls for judgment in the hope of redemption.